Hello everyone, myself Raki, Assistant Professor at the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, ABS Engineering College, Ghaziabad, affiliated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Today in the lecture series of optical communication, we are going to study about the source to fiber launching. The topic which has to be covered in today's lecture are introduction of the then source to fiber launching, source output pattern, source surface emitting LED and the surface edge emitting LED and the laser diode, power coupling introduction part. Because power coupling then we will in the next lecture we will study about the power coupling in the case of a step index fiber and in the case of a graded index fiber in detail. So, whenever we talk about the power launching, what does it mean? That means to provide power, to launch power from one to another. So, already we have studied many things about the power and about the source and about the fiber. There are various parameters which has to be taken into consideration whenever we talk about the power coupling or power launching. So, now we are going to start the introduction part of that. In the realization of an optical fiber link, the first term which comes here is the optical fiber link. So, what is meant by the link here? Link is basically that whenever we have a source, we have a destination, and we have a optical fiber as a transmitting medium. So, this forms a link of a optical fiber, and all the things which comes in between this, that means we can say it source, then a coupling device, if there exists some coupling device that also comes in the fiber link. When we say that there exists some splice, that also included in the link. So, everything which comes in between this source and destination and in the fiber which we used as a transmitting medium, all comes under this optical fiber link. In the realization of optical fiber, two important processes are how to launch power into a particular fiber, how to launch power into a particular fiber from the some type of luminescent sources, and how to couple optical power from one fiber to another. So, this is the most important process which comes in the case of a optical fiber link, ki how we launch the power from our source, that is LED and laser, into the fiber. And why it is talking about the particular fiber? Because already we have a different types of fiber, step index fiber, graded index fiber, single mode fiber, multi mode fiber, and how to couple optical power from one fiber to another. So, these are the two important processes. The launching optical power from a source into the fiber require the considerations such as numerical aperture, which is our Na, core size, refractive index profile, that is refractive index of the core as well as the refractive index of the cladding, because these are the important parameters so that total internal reflection which is one of the most important and the condition for optical power propagation inside the fiber is possible only if we take proper consideration of the core and the cladding refractive index. Core and cladding index difference of the fiber, because for the total internal reflection to happen, the two refractive index can't be equal, and core refractive index should always be greater than the our cladding refractive index. So, core cladding index difference of the fiber is very important. Size, radiance, angular power distribution of the optical source. Optical sources angular power distribution is also one of the most important parameters. Already we have studied in the previous lecture about the line width, which is a important parameters of the source, so that dispersion can happen or not, or power can be coupled in which condition. Now, in the continuation of this, first of all we are going to discuss about one of the important parameter, the measure of the amount of optical power emitted from a source that can be coupled into the fiber is usually given by the coupling efficiency. That is, this is a very important parameter and it gives the measure of the optical power emitted from a source and that is coupled into the fiber. Power coupled into the fiber and the power emitted from the source is given by the coupling efficiency. The launching and the coupling efficiency depend upon the type of the fiber. So, launching and the coupling efficiency depends upon the which parameter? It depends upon the type of fiber which we are using, that is attached to the source, and on the coupling process which we are following. For example, whether or not lenses or other coupling improvement schemes are used. These are the actually lenses are one of the coupling improvement schemes. About that we will discuss in the next lectures. So, whenever we talk about the launching and the coupling efficiency, what are the important conditions? That it depends upon the type of the fiber and which type of coupling or the launching schemes are used by us. The effect to be considered in this case include fiber misalignment. So, what has to be considered? That is fiber misalignment, different core size, numerical aperture and core refractive index profile, plus the need for clean and smooth fiber and faces that are perpendicular to the fiber axis. These are the important parameters which has to be taken into consideration whenever we are either coupling or launching the power. So, first come the source to fiber launching. A convenient and useful measure of the optical output of a luminescent source is its radiance, which is given, or brightness, which is given by capital B at a given diode drive current. So, one of the important measuring value of the optical output of a luminescent source is the radiance or B, brightness. So, what the definition of a brightness or a radiance? Radiance is the optical power radiated into a unit solid angle per unit emitting surface area. So, radiance is basically the optical power radiated into a unit solid angle per unit emitting surface area and is generally specified in the terms of watt per square centimeter per steradian. This is the unit of a radiance. So, since the optical power that can be coupled into the optical fiber depends upon the radiance, optical power depends upon the that can be coupled depends upon the radiance. The radiance rather than the total output power is the important parameter when considering source to fiber coupling efficiency also. Now, so before further going to, we have just try to familiarize yourself about the different important parameters which we are taken into consideration whenever we talk about the power launching and coupling. And the next one is the source output pattern. So, what is the pattern? Whenever we talk about the pattern, it basically describe our pattern is basically in layman language when we say a particular form of a design which is followed in a regular basis, So, if any source exists and we want and it is emitting some form of signals, some form of radiance, some form of light, any form of, and we are seeing how its flow, how it is received at the output. So, it is following the same condition always, it will follow the same flow always, and in that case it forms the pattern. So, in pattern in any case of a source usually gives the idea about the how it is received at the output section, and it also try to understand the various other parameters which are related to the source at the output terminal. To determine the optical power accepting capability of a fiber, the spatial radiation pattern of the source must first be known. So, what is telling in this line, that if we want to know the optical power accepting capability of a fiber, we have to consider the radiation pattern of a source. So when we talk about radiation pattern, it is basically represented in both graphical and diagram form. That means a pattern can be represented both in the graphical form or dramatically. So, it has to be known because it gives the idea of the other parameters known. This pattern can be fairly complex. Of course, whenever the source is here and we are seeing this here at the output one, it is a very complex one. Whenever we either see it graphically or in the form of a diagram. Figure shows a spherical coordinate system characterized by r, theta and phi with the normal emitting surface as the polar axis. The radiance may be the function of both theta and phi and also vary from point to point on the emitting surface. So, what is there? That whenever we want to have a clear idea of the pattern, it is measured in the terms of spherical coordinate system. And what are the parameters? R, theta and r, phi and z here. Sorry. R, phi and z are the in the cylindrical one, but here we are considering the spherical coordinate system. For the pattern can be analyzed in the terms of spherical coordinate system, and r, theta and phi are the different coordinates of the spherical. So, whenever we want to have the pattern, first what are you doing, that we are keeping r constant and theta and phi variable. So, whatever changes are accepted are in this direction. The radiance may be the function of both theta and phi and also vary from point to point on the emitting surface. It varies from the point to point, and it is also shown here, that is the pattern. This is our theta and projection of this is taken here, and this point is r, theta and phi. This is the point P at which we are seeing something, and is the observation point, and is the emitting area center at this point. This is the theta and this is the r, and projection at this point is taken in the xy plane, and this angle projection, and this is our phi, this is our theta and this is our r in the case of a spherical coordinate system. So, this is the pattern which is formed in the case of a emitting area of LED. So, there is example surface emitting LED. So, whenever we already know that exists a two type of LED in common, that is surface emitting LED and the edge emitting LED. So, these are basically two types of source, and also we have a laser. So, one by one we will discuss about first surface emitting LED, then edge emitting LED and laser. So, in the case of a surface emitting LED, what are the things? surface emitting LED are characterized by their Lambert-Eaton output pattern. So, output pattern are of different type. Whenever we say that the at output we have received, if we have a source at this particular we have a axis, this is our axis, and we have a source here. So, if at the output we are receiving the pattern like this, it means that we are receiving the signal ये एक्सिस के परपेंडिकुलर में we are receiving the signal. This is called the, this is our when the so at 90 degree and 270 degree we are receiving the signal, because axis is considered at the 0 degree and 180 degree. So, this is one of the best form of a pattern, and similarly we can have a many different types of pattern. So, again we are having some source, this is our axis, and we are like this. That means with axis angle is 0 degree and 180 degree, because our axis is the same. So, this is also one of a, but this is a directional form. And when we talk about the Lambert-Eaton one, that is our, we get a pattern like this. I am just trying to improve my drawing first of all here. A complete spherical structure. What does it mean? It means that signal is receiving at all the directions, at all the angles. Previously, we are seeing that signals are receiving at the 0 degree or 180 degree, 90 degree and 270 degree. But in this particular case, what we are seeing that signals are receiving at all direction, and this is the pattern in the case of a surface emitting LED. Lambert-Eaton output, which means that output is equally bright from view when viewed from any direction. That signal is received from at all the direction. The power delivered at an angle theta measured related to the normal of the emitting surface varies as cos theta, because the projected area of the emitting surface vary as the cos theta with viewing direction. So, in this case the pattern already told to you can be represented in the form of a diagram as well as graphical in the form of a functions also. So, this is the function of a pattern of the surface emitting LED. Now, the edge emitting LED and the laser diode. The edge emitting LED and a laser diode have more complex emission pattern. Its radiance is given by this one, where T denotes transverse and L denotes longitudinal. So, edge emitting LED and laser diode have more complex emission pattern. These devices have different radiations, B theta 0 degree and B theta 90 degree in the plane, parallel and normal respectively. So, these are for the edge emitting and these are for the plane, parallel and normal respectively. So, this is a equation where T denotes transverse and L denotes longitudinal one. For laser diode, L can takes on values over 100. In general, for edge emitter, L should be equal to 1. Now, we are going to have a calculate the power coupling. To calculate the maximum optical power coupled into the fiber, consider first the case shown in the figure here. For a symmetric source of brightness, this is the ideal condition we are taking here, because the source of brightness taken as symmetric. AS, omega S, where AS and omega is the area and the solid emission angle of the source. So, these are the source, this is the active area and this is the pattern which we are achieving. This is the cladding region, this is the core region and this is the and this is our fiber acceptance angle. So, we can have from seeing this picture only, we are able to see that fiber acceptance angle, core cladding values plays a significant role in the case of a power coupled. So, now we are going to have the calculate the power that can be coupled from the source to the fiber, and it is given by this formula, where AF is the area and omega F is the our solid angle. So, this is the formula DAS, D omega S, B is our brightness, which is a function of AS and omega S, and we want to integrate it. So, this is our first beta is the brightness is the function of theta and phi, sin theta d phi is our solid angle. We already know that this is our solid angle, then the solid angle is given by sin theta d phi, and this is our area d theta s r dr, this is our incremental area. So, whenever we talk about coordinate system in coordinate system we have a different r, theta and phi, and whenever we talk about the any area, incremental area, so incremental area changes as per the direction we are considering. If we have want to have a in r direction, because our area vector is always perpendicular to the surface, area vector is always perpendicular to the surface. So, when we are talking about this surface, vector is in this direction. So, when this, if we are taking this area d theta s r dr, that means in this particular equation you are able to see that there is no any such thing related to phi. So, of course, the area vector should lie in the phi direction, that means a phi is our unit vector. So, whenever we want to understand in which area the vector is lying, we can able to have this. So, if we take r and theta, then the vector is lie in the phi direction. When we have r and phi, area vector will lie in the theta direction, and when we have theta and phi, vector will lie in the r direction. So, here we have the incremental area in the phi direction. So, complete thing here, range of phi, we already know that phi ranges from 0 to 2 pi, and theta is ranging from 0 to theta naught max, which is our what? Acceptance, maximum acceptance angle. So, you have to make sure that you are able to understand. B is our brightness, theta and phi function, sin theta d phi is our solid angle, d theta s r dr is our incremental area in the phi direction, phi ranges from 0 to 2 pi, and theta 0 to theta naught max, where theta naught max is our acceptance angle, and r ranges from 0 to rm. So, same thing as represented here only, that is it the incremental area, integrating over that we can have the values. For simplicity, the emitting surface is taken as a circular one. The source radius, we have to always take this also in mind. If the source radius rs is less than the fiber core radius a, then in that case the upper limit, which is represented as rm, can be equal to rs. For the source area larger than the fiber core, then in that case rm should be equal to a, that is our core area. So, again I am repeating the things for you, कि if we are having the source area less than the fiber core area, then in that case you have to take the rm, which is our upper limit of the radius, as rs, and when the source area is larger than the fiber core, then in that case rm should be equal to a. Assume a surface emitting LED of radius RS is less than the fiber core. If we are assuming that RS is less than the fiber core, then of course we have to take this Rm is equal to Rs. Since this is a Lambertian emitter, the B theta phi for Lambertian source delivered earlier can be applied. So what we have taken earlier, what we have calculated, B theta phi as for the Lambertian output, B theta phi is equal to B naught cos theta. So we can apply this one here. So this can be applied further in the equation. So now we have a equation from this one. So in the place of B theta phi, we can apply the B theta phi is equal to B naught cos phi, which is for the surface emitting LED, that is for the Lambertian output. So here we have replaced that. In the case of B theta phi, we have included B naught cos theta and everything remains the same, and phi value 2 pi already changes here, and by integrating this we are able to get sin squared theta. When we integrate this complete one, by integrating we get the sin square theta, and when we applied the limit, we have a limit from the 0 to theta naught max. What we are getting? Sin square theta naught max, that is shown here. D theta is our area, and we already know that this one is equal to the numerical aperture. This is our theta naught max is our acceptance angle, and when we take off a sine of the acceptance angle and square it, we will get the numerical aperture square. So this is a equation which we are further going to apply for the when we study about the step index and the graded index fibers in the next lecture. And also we can use this formula in the place of Na. We can have the N1 under root 2 del. So we can easily see that power coupling efficiency is dependent upon the refractive index of the core and also to the relative refractive index difference. What we have seen in the first slide, the various parameter on which the power coupled and the launch depends. So thank you for attending today's class. Keeps on studying.